Hey, it's Dr. Jarrett. It's Tuesday afternoon. You know where I am. I'm here for you. We are here on 2 Cents Tuesdays with Dr. Jarrett, 1 o'clock Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Want to make sure that all of you guys are out there. Been coming with you with many tips over the past several weeks, coming on every Tuesday. So I appreciate you guys for following and tuning in while we're here. Hey Paulette, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in as always. I certainly wanted you guys to know that I'm happy that you're here because there's a few things we're going to talk about today. I know one of the things most people have been very, very concerned about is the flu shot saga that you saw playing out over the last week or so. Last week, my 2 Cents Tuesdays was based on the flu shot and getting your flu shot and the importance of the flu shot. You got extra bonuses throughout the week. If you happen to catch me streaming live, I came into the doctor's office with my own two boys who got their flu shots, and we got a live report from them as soon as they were done with the flu shot. Again, follow up on that. They tolerated it well. They did very well. One said he had a little soreness where the injection site was. The other said he was fine, stopped being a crybaby to the other. So you have to go back and check out that video to see their little back and forth and how the younger brother throws the older brother under the bus. So they're all good. Their immune system should be kicking in and doing quite well. Now it takes 2, 3, up to about 4 weeks before your body makes the full vaccination coming in throughout for the flu shot. Hey, Mariana, thanks for joining in. I will tell you that as the week progressed, I went to get my own flu shot. So you guys got to see my whole saga going through the entire process, actually. The people at St. Joseph's Hospital were very accommodating for me, and they actually had a free flu clinic. So there's still time to check in your community for a free flu vaccine clinic. Google free flu vaccine clinic, and you'll probably find one from an area hospital near you. So I actually was able to go all the way in through the process, signing up the papers, waiting in line. You guys hung in there with me while I talked to you more and more about getting the flu vaccine, and ultimately made it to the nurse who gave me my injection. She was a great sport, and watching and letting me live stream that process. Myself, personal effects of it, felt just fine, maybe slight soreness in my shoulder where I got the injection, but honestly felt totally fine. So again, did not get sick from the flu. You can't get flu from the flu shot. So go back and check out last week's videos. If you haven't, you'll probably get a kick out of some of them. So that was follow-up number 1. So our immune system is being primed. So hopefully you guys are out there getting your flu shot. So today's topic gets back to our Halloween series. So as you remember, we had a couple of episodes recently where we talked about scaring your children during Halloween, making sure that they are appropriately scared, if they should be scared at all. Go back and check out that video. I saw a lot of people at the amusement park with inappropriate things for their younger children to be seen and exposed to and forced into doing. And then the other Halloween series was based on buying the right Halloween costume. So as a brief recap with that, you want to make sure that if you have a mask, your child has a full field of vision. You're going to want to make sure they're having a good amount of space to move freely. You don't want them to be hindered, and you don't want them to blend in with their surroundings. So you want to get those fitted costumes that aren't going to be dragging, that they don't trip over. And that kind of leads us into trick or treat, because depending on where you live, trick or treat time can be anywhere from now all the way through. Hey Asher, thanks for joining in today. Appreciate it. We're doing the Halloween series. And so as people are continuing to join in, let me reintroduce myself. I'm Dr. Jarret. I'm your board certified pediatrician. I'm here to help parents just like you get better control over your child and promote better health. And we'll do this through my live streams, my books, and other programs that I'll have forthcoming to you. So make sure you go to my Facebook fan page at Dr. Jarret, spell out Dr. J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T, and go like that page, follow that page. There are going to be some very important updates coming soon, and I want you guys to be the first to know about it. So as I was saying, today's will be our final installment on Halloween safety. So hopefully you figured out not to scare your kids too much in our first video a few weeks ago. And you've hopefully bought that Halloween costume that fits them appropriately. They can see appropriately around it, and they are going to be safe in it. I'm going to give you a few more tips about trick or treat, because when we talk about trick or treating, kids get very excited for this time of year, and they're ready to go out and get candy and all types of junk and junk foods most of the time for them. And basically, people are always worried about the candy. Well, what if somebody's putting pins in the candy bar and they choke on them? Or perhaps this apple has razor blades in it and they might slit their throat. Well, you know, that's like 1980s horror flick stuff. Those things still may happen in very, very small circumstances, but that's not the main danger to your children on trick or treat and in Halloween time and trick or treat specifically. So it's okay to look at their candy and inspect their candy and goods that they bring home, because yeah, there could be some of that stuff still going on, but you're going to want to make sure, more importantly, that if your child has an allergy, one of my sons has a peanut allergy, I always inspect his candy to make sure there's nothing with peanuts in that. So if your kid has a specific food allergy, you're going to probably go through, and I encourage you to go through all of their goods to make sure that they won't have any allergic reaction to anything they eat during the trick-or-treat time. That being said, Asher said she inspects and takes all the good stuff, and well, you know, I do too. I usually take a few pieces just for my service to making sure I'm keeping my child safe. So I usually take a little skim off the top, and that's okay for the parents to do so. But the main danger in Halloween is not having the dangers within the candy, although there are some dangers, and I don't want you to just completely ignore that. The main accidents, deaths, broken bones, really all those bad things that happen during Halloween tend to happen as a result of pedestrian accidents. And we talked a little bit about this before, but specifically pedestrian accidents are the most common issue that you'll find during the Halloween time. That being the case, that's why we talked about getting that safe Halloween costume that they're not going to trip over, that they have a full range of vision, that they can actually see clearly around them and don't have an obscured vision. This is true for those pirates that might come out and have an eye patch on or something. Try to do something other than get their vision obstructed, because you have to remember, in most cases, people are going to be walking around at night, and you're not going to be able to see the cracks in the sidewalks or the curb or different things. So kids will just straight fall and hurt themselves on a curb. But then that's only part of the picture. There's going to be kids that need to cross the street. They're going to need to find their ways throughout neighborhoods and cities and towns and communities across the way. And sometimes the streets aren't very well lit, and drivers aren't always paying attention to trick-or-treaters, unfortunately, or pedestrians in general, for that matter. What you're going to want to do is make sure you're protecting your kid, particularly if they have a dark costume or something that is supposed to kind of blend in. A classic skeleton costume is typically black, and you have some white bones attached to that. And as a result, it can be very difficult for a driver to see a child as they're going by. And so you're going to want to make sure you can increase the visibility. So we're going to do this through a few things. So I have my little trick-or-treat bag here today. And so I hope to get it filled up in time for Halloween. And as I will say, I will take a little bit off the top from my labors of taking the kids around trick-or-treating and making sure that they're safe. So take a few pieces for yourself. So thank you for that idea, Asher. So glow sticks. Glow sticks, Asher, are a great thing. You can put them around your kid's neck as a necklace. You can put them on their wrist. You can put them on their ankles. So they actually provide illumination that gives a little bit better visibility to things. So yes, using a glow stick is something perfect for the child to accompany their Halloween costume, to give them a little bit more visibility. If it's not an option for them to wear very bright clothing, that would be very useful for them, because costumes, many of them are very dark. It's great to just attach some reflective strips. You can get reflective strips from anywhere from the dollar store to your hardware store, and apply reflective strips to different parts of the costume. That will allow headlights and other lights, as they flash by, to reflect and give a warning sign that somebody's crossing the street or somebody's walking on the sidewalk, and they may dash out at any given moment. So that is something that is particularly helpful and really doesn't take away much from the costume. So remember, if you can't get glow sticks from your dollar store, go for your reflective strips. They are very, very easy. And at a minimum, a child can carry around a flashlight. So you can get a head-mounted flashlight such as this one that actually can just strap around your head and show your child exactly what they need to see, and illuminate where they're walking, as well as alert others that they may be oncoming. That or old-fashioned just handheld flashlight or a smaller LED light is perfectly acceptable for them to take around in their trick-or-treat bag, so that they can have that, one, to see better and to alert people that are there. Paulette says she always accompanies her kids and her grandsons for the evening, and she walks with them. So that is true. I mean, you're not going to want to send your 5-year-old kid going around door to door, knocking on strangers' doors, getting Halloween trick-or-treats. You're going to want to accompany them. You may even want to walk up to the door, because going back to a couple of weeks ago, some people really get into Halloween. Some people use their garages and set up haunted houses. They may have something scary on the curb. So you're going to have to really judge how skittish your child is and be with them. Sometimes you can let them handle their own trick-or-treat negotiation themselves as they get older, but you should be with them. And you can go in a group. They can be accompanied by an adult, would be the best possibility. It could be a parent, a grandparent, or even a neighborhood friend that wants to take a group of kids around. I've been tagged with that duty a few times myself, so I know exactly what it's like to try to herd a bunch of kids and keep them corralled as they're going through. So we talked about a few things that will be helpful for you guys to remember today. So one, the candy is an issue. You don't want to give them something that they're allergic to, or the old urban legends of people putting pins or razor blades into items. So inspect the packages and make sure they look pretty legit. Probably the biggest danger from the candy is if you just let your kid come home and eat all that candy right away. I have had many calls the day after Halloween in my practice with people complaining about belly aches. So the first question always is, well, how much candy did they eat? Oh, they ate half their bag. Okay. Well, it doesn't take a doctor to tell you that your kid ate too much candy and they have a bellyache, but sometimes it does. So thank you guys for joining the room. So tip one, pay attention to that candy, mainly for allergens, but you can inspect the packaging, and it's okay to skim a little bit off the top, as Asher recommends. I totally co-sign that for your kid, because I'll skim a little off the top too. Number two, you're going to want to make sure that costume fits and does not obstruct their vision, so that they are safe as they're walking around. And when they're walking around safe, you may want to use something like glow sticks. You may want to use something like a flashlight. You may even let them wear some bright clothing depending on how cold it is. Very bright colors will show up very nicely within there. And at the very least, you can get reflector strips and just attach them directly to the costume. That way, cars have a higher visibility. People driving cars can see your child better. But I guarantee you're going to find something at the dollar store. I mean, you go to the dollar store, the checkouts always have little things that flash and glow and do these types of things that you're going to have for $1. You can get them for all your kids or the neighborhood kids. May even be a trick or treat thing if you want. But the main thing is you're going to want to have them with some high visibility of things that'll be there. So it's all about keeping your kids safe during the time. The biggest accidents and bad things that tend to happen are not the very dramatic ones like poison or razor blades or even abductions if you're carefully watching your children. They really are just simple pedestrian things. So we want to keep your kids safe. As always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. It is 2 Cents Tuesdays with Dr. Jarret. I am Dr. Jarret. I'm your board certified pediatrician. I'm here to help parents just like you take better care of your kids. And I'm going to do this through my books, my live streams, and other programs I have forthcoming. So for now, I want you to go to my Facebook page at Dr. Jarret, spell out Dr. J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T, and like that page, follow it. That way you'll be up to date with all of the things I have coming for you. And if nothing else, I'm here every Tuesday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. I'll take topics to answer some questions that you have during the week. I always come across people out in public that have something that just say, hey, Dr. Jarret, you should talk about this, or can you talk about this? Or it stems from a question that I'm being asked either online or in person. So you guys reach out to me at any time. I always appreciate it. I appreciate you guys tuning in, you faithful viewers, every Tuesday. I'll be back next Tuesday, 1 o'clock, and I'll be there. Make sure you guys tune in. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.